Welcome to ISV Talks. And on this ISV Talks, I got to interview Bob McAdam from Enterprise Software Podcast. And Bob and the Enterprise Software Podcast team were on site at Acumatica Summit 2022 in Las Vegas, Nevada. I got a chance to talk to Bob about what it was like, the attendance, any new special sneak peeks. So please join me in welcoming Bob. So welcome to ISV Talks. On this episode, we actually have a special guest, Bob McAdam from Enterprise Software Podcast. Bob is actually at Acumatica Summit right now in Las Vegas, Nevada. So welcome, Bob. Thank you for joining us today and talking a little bit about what's going on at Acumatica Summit. So do you want to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what's going on there in Las Vegas?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so I'm Bob McAdam. I'm co-host and co-founder of Enterprise Software Podcast, a production that will be 8 years old in May, believe it or not.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
I know. It's hard to believe. It really is. I'm here with Todd McDaniel, who's another co-host and co-founder. And Darcy Borio is included in that as well. Darcy's not here in Las Vegas, but we are, and we have been invited by Acumatica for now the fourth consecutive time to do podcasting at their Acumatica Summit. So I got this great big sign next to me here and a table that they provided, and it's full of some sponsor swag and lots of wires, but we're having a great time meeting folks who are leveraging Acumatica partners and whatnot, and a lot of nice people. It's really been tons of fun.
Well, do you know how many years Acumatica has been having their summit in Las Vegas? It's been quite a few years, I think, right?
This is the third one in a row, yeah, because the first time we were invited was 2019, and that was in Houston, and I think they were in Nashville the year before that. So
okay,
this is the third one in a row. Next year is going to be here as well. This year it's at the Wynn, which if you've been to Las Vegas, you know that the Wynn and the Encore are two of the nicest places on the Strip, and the convention center here has been really great. So if I have to spend a couple of days in Las Vegas covering this event, so be it.
Yeah. Well, nice. And I guess Acumatica, they had their summit last July, which they normally have it in January, right? So
that is
right. July to now back to January. So is that how does that kind of been in terms of attendance and people coming, I guess back to the January event?
Yeah, so that's a good question. Originally they were going to have their summit in January of 21, and it got pushed to May, and then it got pushed again to July. But they went through with it in July and then said, we want to get back into the January time slot, so we'll go with January 22. And so that meant there was only 6 months in between summits for Acumatica. And it's fair to say that while the enthusiasm and momentum here was as good as it's always been, this crowd was a little bit lighter than what we saw in July.
Okay, all right.
I have to give Todd credit, my podcasting partner. He assessed that Acumatica is the only developer that pulled off in-person shows during January 2020, July 2021, and January 2022. So they got one year, all 3 years during this mess. So kudos to them.
There you go. And this was pretty much an all in-person event. Was there any virtual or live streaming that happened during the event?
They streamed the keynotes each morning.
Yep. Yeah.
You can watch that. I don't believe they did much else beyond that, though.
Okay. So, so it's the expected attendance to be somewhere in the 2,500 person range. Do you think that they're close to that? And what
I really don't. No, I think they probably did 1,800.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So
do you think it was mostly partners? Did they have a good percentage of customers show up? What does it seem like?
Yeah. I would say It's pretty evenly matched. There might be a few more customers here than partners, but it's pretty close. The expo is pretty good sized. There's a lot of exhibitors in the expo hall, and there are a lot of partners wandering around. So there are a few more customers probably than partners, but I'd say it's reasonably close.
That's good. I mean, you always hope that customers come and it's not just a big old partner networking event.
Right, that's exactly
Right.
right. And we did get a chance to interview some customers while we were here. Some really interesting folks that we'll have it posted first week of February. So
All right.
I said some people got to come in July and some are here in January. I think having 6 months apart probably gave people a choice, you know.
So overall impressions of the event, you know, how was it compared to other events that you've attended or even other Acumatica events?
Overall, I'd say it was pretty good. They did have a couple of announcements, but they didn't have a lot of news because let's face it, in July, they had 18 months worth of news and whatnot to talk about, right? They'd done 3 releases by then. This time, you know, the shoe's on the other foot. And they've only got 6 months worth of development to talk about. And, you know, it's just not as many people as in July. So yes, they're trying to get back into the January time slot and stay here, and they will be here next January as well. So, but yeah, you know, the calendar flop with 18 months works in your favor, 6 months, not so much. So.
Gotcha. So what's the overall energy level and enthusiasm? Do you think people are pretty excited, or what's your feeling?
I do. I think everybody's here. All these customers seem very excited. The good enthusiasm here. Partners are enthused. We talked to a couple guys here at Acumatica who are on the partner recruitment and enablement team, and they're like, cool. The partners aren't angry with us. They want to know when they get paid and stuff like that, which is normal for any partner. But they're happy. They're happy with our progress with development. Their customers seem happy. They're making good progress and deployment and whatnot. So overall, I'd say the enthusiasm, while there's fewer people here than July, the enthusiasm and the overall positive buzz is pretty good. It's really good, quite frankly.
Yeah. So speaking of buzz, was there any new buzzwords that, you know, like I think I watched a little bit of one of the keynotes and I saw a buzzword RPA, or robotic process automation. What is that?
Well, I'm not going to be able to explain all that to you, but I will say that they debuted the Acumatica Document Cloud. That's new for them. And then they made an acquisition around property management. So now they'll have a 5th vertical within the product, right? They rolled out construction a couple of years ago. They had distribution module. They have a whole bunch of stuff here in the core product. And so this time they added property management, which was, you know, new for them. And according to John Roskill, their CEO, something like 85% of new licenses are based on end user companies that want to leverage these verticals. So they're clearly investing in those verticals.
Yeah, property management, that makes a lot of sense. It kind of fits well with construction, which is, I know, a vertical they're well into. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. People are milling about and getting good feedback on sessions. I talked to a developer and he was happy with I guess they're going through the process of changing the core technology and changing the user interface. And in a couple of years, the Acumatica will look and operate more efficiently and look better. So he was excited about that. It's a couple year wait still, but they were giving the developers a little bit of a sneak peek this week. So good for them.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Is anything on you know, special entertainment or you know, some of the events like the party Acumatica celebration? Was there anything there that was?
So Sunday evening, they had a little celebration in the expo hall. One vendor had a big TV in their booth, so a lot of people were there watching the end of the Bills-Chiefs game. They got quite a few leads, I'm sure, in the 4th quarter there.
Right.
And then after
marketing.
That's right. And then after that ended, a few of the ISVs had a little gathering down the hall here at a place called La Cave inside the Wynn. which was well attended and very nice. One of our sponsors, Repay, was one of the hosts, so it was really quite good.
Sure.
Last night, or Monday night rather, there's a club in the Encore called XS, right? The letter X, the letter S, and Acumatica had their Monday evening celebration in there, and it was really well done. It was a big club, indoor, outdoor. It was a nice evening to be outside. It wasn't too chilly, maybe high 50s, low 60s, and food all around, and drinks and dancing, and it was a good time. They really did their show at their event rather, the XS, very nicely. They had excellent turnout. So
good. And how about the marketplace, the expo? What was that like?
Expo is pretty full. Nothing groundbreaking in there per se. You've got a lot of tax, a lot of reporting and whatnot, a lot of credit card processing in there. Yeah. So a lot of the same vendors that were here in July are here in January now, and I'd say they have slightly bigger expo this time around than last time. So it was pretty, all the meals are there.
Out. I know they sold out the floor, so they had lots of ISVs there. So, and a good number, Foy told me there was about 80% that returned and about 20% new. So
that sounds about right.
New people there. Any great swag? I always like to find out what kind of take-home items that they are giving away.
Yeah, we have some good swag here on our table at Enterprise Software Podcast, and there's a bunch of stuff in the expo booth. Nothing unusual, although V Technologies did supply some of these Sharpie pens that works like a regular.
Oh wow!
Pen, but
that's neat.
It's a Sharpie on the bottom. I thought that was kind of cool.
Oh, that is clever. Yeah, I have a couple of those.
and our other sponsor, Repay, they had the logoed socks they left here on our table because our sponsors could leave their swag, and they're already gone. They were gone in like 3-4 hours, and they left quite a few of them. So people. That
was my favorite swag that I went to in November. I got 3 pairs of socks.
Yeah, I mean, clearly socks are popular.
Socks. Yeah.
Nobody's getting cold feet at Acumatica Summit, that's for sure.
That's for sure. So any takeaway from this year's Acumatica Summit that you think that people, are glad that they came because of?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think you have a lot of people that have now been to Acumatica Summit several times. It's not a new event anymore. And again, this event site, the Wynn, is really, the food's very good. The service is very good. The venues, it's a lot of walking, of course, but it's a beautiful, beautiful building. It's a great place to hold an event. So yeah, I would say, it's full steam ahead for Acumatica and their team. Everybody from the company is here, and they're in the hallways, and you can talk to them all you want. The enthusiasm is good. Yeah, maybe the crowd size for July is a little bit different than it was this time around, but I think next January they'll probably be,
back up there.
Right. If we get through this mess, a year from now, we could say, hey, we're going to go to Vegas, and we're just not going to have all these restrictions or concerns. Then I think they'll be back on track and moving forward. They did not really talk much about attendance, and they did not talk about their customer number, which they generally do. So I'm sure we'll get nice updates a year from now when things are back to normal and their regular January annual schedule continues.
Yeah, and probably January is a lot less extreme and heat than July.
Oh yeah, it's so much better. In July, it was just blazing hot. You'd walk outside and take your breath away. Now it's 50s and 60s during the day, maybe 40s at night. It's much better. I know why they picked January.
Yeah, from that perspective, that makes a lot of sense, and it's easy to get there. I think a lot of people told me that they had didn't want to come because they're busy. This is their busy time of year, right? Year end.
Right.
A lot of projects going live, but and next year, what are the dates next year? Did they announce that now?
They did. They said it's the week of January 29th, 2023. Okay. So January 29th being a Sunday, I believe. So they usually do their hackathon like on Saturday night. It rolls into Sunday. Sunday night will be the reception. Monday, Tuesday, the event, and then the remaining days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all training and whatnot for partners and end users who want to get up to speed on what's cooking here.
Yeah, I heard that, you know, they do have still continue this week, even though kind of the sort of the main expo hall will be done.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But there's training, right? Lots of opportunities to get trained, go to some partner sessions if you're a partner. So it sounds like there's still a lot of good education and opportunities to meet people.
Yeah, more than half the week is dedicated to training and learning. So I mean, the show was quick, 2 days and it's done. It's like hard to believe it's already over just about. But yeah, they'll be doing, a lot of people will stick around for training and stay here in Las Vegas for it. Not all bad.
And hopefully this next year we'll, like you say, kind of get through some of the COVID, you know, and travel restrictions and so forth. So people will feel a little more able to go. But yeah, it sounds like a good event, and I appreciate you taking the time, Bob. Is there anything else that you want to share about kind of what's going on there?
Nothing else really. It's been a great week. I want to thank everybody at Acumatica for their hospitality. You know, they've invited us 4 years in a row. I'm hoping to get another invite next year. Maybe we'll see you here next time. But everybody here has been very hospitable, and we want to thank our sponsors as well for making this podcast here at Acumatica Summit a reality. It's been a lot of fun. I learned a lot, met a lot of great people, and so glad I made it.
Good. Well, thank you, Bob, for your time, and enjoy the rest of your day. And I know you're probably going to be wrapping up on your interviews and so forth, so I'll let you go. But thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Carol. Bye-bye.
So thank you so much for joining us on ISV Talks. You can find Bob at enterprisesoftwarepodcast.com, or you can reach out to Bob McAdam on LinkedIn.